Well, Anthony, we know Canadians have a lot to be proud of, including a rich, accomplished military history.
Absolutely. And you know what? Outside of the history class, it's not very often that you get the opportunity to meet up and get to know some of the Canadians who are doing their part to help Canada today or explore the past and the historical artifacts associated with it, unless you seek it out like we did today.
And that's what our Vancouver team did. They went down to the Seaforth Armoury in Vancouver to meet the Seaforth Highlanders, an infantry reserve group based in Vancouver who will serve Canada abroad and at home in times of peace, war, and unrest.
AMI's Grant Hardy has more.
Since 1936, the Seaforth Armoury has sat near the south end of the Burrard Street Bridge. Every day, many Vancouverites pass by its recently renovated Scottish baronial castle-like structure, making it one of the most recognizable heritage buildings in the city. For Rod Hoffmeister, Honorary Lieutenant Colonel of the Seaforth Highlanders, the regiment's history is proud and personal.
Seaforth Highlanders are Vancouver's infantry regiment. We were formed in 1910 and have served in every major conflict since then. World War I, World War II, Korea, Bosnia, and Afghanistan. My father was a Seaforth cadet in the 1920s and went overseas in the first draft for World War II in 1939. And when the Seaforths went into combat in Sicily, he was their commander.
The Armoury contains a museum and a rare Vimy Memorial Cross bearing the names of those that the regiment lost during the battle.
It was built by members that had survived the Battle of Vimy Ridge with ammunition crates, other bits of wood that they could find. And it has just terrific significance for us, and it has a place of honor on our parade square.
Maintaining the history is the job of Curator James Calhoun.
Our visitors to the museum tend to break down into several groups. There are serving soldiers, there's the general public, and there's people who have some connection to the Seaforth Highlanders of Canada. The public is surprised that they're allowed to even come in the building. The soldiers themselves tend to be more impressed by the weapons, the historic weapons, the kit that the men wore 100 years ago, and to compare it against their own.
According to Rod, keeping history from fading away is important and connects the regiment across generations, particularly since veterans rarely talk about their experiences.
We're now receiving diaries into our collection, and we can learn how World War I veterans felt. They probably would not have expressed those feelings to their families. And in World War II, it was exactly the same. And in Afghanistan, we're seeing it happen all over again.
There is so much to experience. Outside the Armoury, a tank-like light armored vehicle is on display. Afghan veteran Josh Muir showed me the tank and got nostalgic about the bond that is created on a mission between soldiers.
The experiences that are so incredibly unique that we go through, whether they be at home or abroad, just cannot be replicated in the same way in the civilian world, and they just bring people together like almost nothing else I can conceive of would do.
The illustrious history of the regiment is what attracted Public Affairs Officer Graham Kane when he moved to BC.
The Seaforth Highlanders were an integral part of the community. We've had many lieutenant governors that have come from Seaforths. It was an opportunity for people to better themselves in society by joining the regiment. So it's a long storied history of Vancouver.
I had a fantastic time learning about the Seaforth Highlanders and getting a chance to explore the museum, the historical artifacts from wars past, the medals, and the uniforms.
So the first medal on there is called a Distinguished Service Order.
Okay.
And it's quite a prestigious award for gallantry.
But city armories are more than just memories. They're homes to reserve regiments, and in some cities they operate as emergency relief sites. Most importantly, they are a reminder that Canada has a proud military heritage that continues to this day.
So much ground was covered in that piece as everyone was so open about the Highlanders and their military service to our country. Dave, do you think that you'd ever volunteer for the forces?
I have so much respect for the men and women who serve our country. I really admire their bravery. I don't know if that's a quality that I possess, Not to mention, as legally blind, I might be a little bit of a liability on the battlefield.
Well, you know what? I don't think Grant is going to be joining the forces anytime soon either. But he did say he had a very fun and interesting time, and he learned a lot from James, who actually led him to get a feel for some of the memorabilia.